can do this for 24/7.
I feel fantastic.
Kawin kita tuh itu yang kawin. Ya, belum kawin ya.
Digital horror, the next step in the online horror genre. To understand digital horror, we must take a look at analog horror, which is technically its older brother. Analog horror is a horror subgenre that basically uses old technology and its shortcomings and effects to its advantage. It plays on old analog TVs, radios, VHS tapes, and the whole general look associated with that technology. This genre of horror really blew up near the end of 2021 and throughout 2022, but many think it's become a bit overplayed. Analog horror really blew up with series like The Mandela Catalog, The Walton Files, Blue Channel, and the Five Nights at Freddy's VHS tape series made by different YouTubers. Lots of analog horror uses certain tropes that have been repeated throughout different videos that just kind of feel repetitive and don't have the same scare factor as they once did. Not that all analog horror is bad or unoriginal, but a lot of what's being produced kind of feels samey. But there is a next step in this sort of horror genre, and that is digital horror. Analog horror plays on our nostalgia and fondness for the past, our memories of childhood, and a time gone by. And digital horror does the same thing, but for the younger generation. To me, analog horror feels like something that would be most relatable to millennials and early Gen Z kids. So as generations pass, this old technology becomes obsolete, making it not scary to those who are younger, which is why digital horror is the perfect next step in the evolution of that subgenre. Digital horror, to me, feels like it's most relatable to late millennials and pretty much all of Gen Z, since it plays a lot more on the internet and YouTube for its horror. Sagan Hawks made an amazing video covering 4 digital horror video series. The series that he covered being Brandon Works, Old Minecraft Reuploads, Gunslinger Pro 2009, and the June Archive. Brandon Works being a Roblox series kind of covering the idea of an old online friend that just stops going online one day and you never hear back from them. In this series, the OP goes to his friend Brandon's old world and sees as he updated it, which shows clues to what actually happened to him in real life, all being presented in an old YouTube video format, and it creates this very unique narrative. Old Minecraft Reuploads, which is a series basically following a user by the name of GoldMario982 in an early version of Minecraft, discovering weird discrepancies and just things that are a little bit off. Gunslinger Pro 2009 being a video series about Gmod, which basically shows these sentient ragdolls that are being killed by the OP. It's almost like a twisted version of Toy Story in a way, like these characters in-game are actually alive and are moving in just in creepy ways, and if you know Gmod, it's a great series. There's also the June Archive, which plays on those old Flipnote Hatena animations that you used to see all over YouTube. These old little DS animations seem innocent at first, but then become disturbing. These 4 series were perfectly explained and covered by Sagan Hawks, so if you want to learn more about them, watch his video or watch the original series. In a sense, these videos really perfectly capture the aesthetic of digital horror. They're all technically based on video games, but they have a different aspect to them, which isn't just gameplay. There's stories being told, and they're not overtly scary a lot of the time. It's a lot more of a subtle form of horror. It really works best if you are indeed familiar with the source material. To me, the digital horror effect is actually really easy to achieve. In August of 2021, I uploaded a video to my Instagram and my Discord server of me just talking about Bionicle and pretending that it's like 2008. And the video is completely innocent, but it's shot with an old camera, which makes the whole thing feel slightly off and a little creepy. Here's a clip from it. And next up, this is one of my favorites. This is Toa Metru no Kama, I think. And he's got these ball launchers, shoot balls. And his sword, check this out. When people watched this video, they felt like something wrong was gonna happen. There's this overall sense of tension, where nothing's actually happening, but it just feels like something's gonna be off. And that is literally just because of the camera and the way that I acted in it. Something important to note about digital horror is that it really plays on Gen Z's internet childhood trauma. So far, there are a couple videos explaining the series that I just talked about that Sagan Hawks covered, but there's some more digital horror that I think we should take a look at. So, welcome everyone. Today we're going to be taking a look at what I believe is going to be the next big thing. Some examples of digital horror are old YouTube videos that we'd find. One of the first examples of digital horror that really blew up is actually username 666. Yeah, it's an oldie, but a goodie. Username 666 is a video created by the YouTuber Nana825763. It's an art project, and a really, really good one. It basically consists of a user typing in youtube.com/666 and refreshing the page over and over again. At first nothing changes, until things start to get a little strange. At first the changes aren't too big, but quickly things start to get pretty creepy. And then the YouTube channel for 666 appears. And we're in hell. The person doing this all in this video tries to escape the tab and tries to watch other videos, but can't. They are stuck on this corrupted YouTube page, and there is nothing they can do to escape. Finally, right as the video ends, a hand pops out of the screen, and that's it. This video is incredible. There was a creepypasta written capitalizing on the popularity of the actual video, which is not made by the same person, and the creepypasta itself isn't great. That doesn't bring down how good the original video actually is. I think it's pretty self-explanatory as to how this is digital horror, since it really just plays on YouTube, especially old YouTube, and this crazy corruption found by just putting a link in and being insistent with your refreshes. I'm gonna just flex right here. If you go to Nana's channel and you look at the favorites, look at that! It's the Gen Z Childhood Trauma Iceberg full series. That's my video, and it's one of Nana's favorite videos, so yeah, it's really cool. But that's besides the point. Another very recent example of digital horror was actually the return of username 666, which happened very recently. In July of 2022, if you remove the letter C from watch in the YouTube link, you'd be directed to this disturbing video. This kind of sent the internet into a frenzy once more, reawakening this old urban legend. Many thought it was an ARG, or even something more sinister, but it turns out it was actually just a game between two Discord users who had the ability to redirect links. They own a channel which is just watch without an H and watch without a C, so when you put that into the YouTube search bar, it would redirect to whatever they wanted. And so, for the sake of the game, they made it that 666 video. Which, by the way, that entire mystery was solved by me and my community. We actually got the people who were behind the whole thing to come on and explain it all. I've got 2 videos on the subject if you want further explanation. A YouTube video series by the name of Petscop is another really great example of digital horror. Petscop has been out for a while, you've probably heard of it, you probably know the lore, so I'm not here to really explain everything. There are videos that do far better at doing that, but I feel like it should be mentioned here. For those who are unaware, Petscop is a really unique YouTube horror web series, which basically takes a look at a game that doesn't exist for the PlayStation 1. The video series is basically just this guy, let's playing it in a sense, and finding all these creepy things that lead to a bigger message. There's a lot of lore, some things that connect to real life incidents, and a general theme of childhood trauma and corruption of these old memories. The game looks exactly as you'd expect it to, and it perfectly mimics the art style of the PlayStation 1. The series is really unique and really special, and if you think about it, is digital horror. Another great example of digital horror is I Feel Fantastic.
I feel fantastic. KJJ. Fantastic. You feel fantastic.
Yep, that classic video. If you somehow aren't aware of I Feel Fantastic, it's basically a video of an android very creepily singing and moving, talking about how fantastic she feels. The video alone is pretty creepy, but there are actually some conspiracies kind of surrounding it. Some think that the video was created by a murderer who dressed this android in his victim's clothes and made the robot sing about feeling fantastic, since he wishes that his victims would be feeling fantastic when he, killed them. There are random shots of a backyard with just some dirt in the video that are really weird and out of place. People believe that that's where the bodies are buried, and that's not true. at all. Obviously that isn't true. But to bring up the point I made earlier, if this footage was just like in HD shot with a phone, it wouldn't be nearly as creepy. This video wasn't even intentionally made to be digital horror, it just kind of happened to be from the time it was released. Another video that really reminds me of digital horror is a video called Cell Phone and Microwave. The video shows footage of a cell phone in a microwave, which then proceeds to basically blow up and reveal a really creepy looking demon, some sort of creature. Back in the day, videos of putting random technology in microwaves were pretty popular because people just liked seeing them spark up and explode. So seeing something like this, especially as a little kid, was terrifying, and you really couldn't get it anywhere else but a digital space. But digital horror doesn't all just have to be recordings or video games. Sometimes it's, for example, flash animations. Series like Alfred's Playhouse, or videos like Bad Baby from Newgrounds alone are objectively really weird and disturbing, and maintain that creepy low quality aspect that makes these videos so special. Another animation that I saw as a kid that really freaked me out was Loituma Onion Smash. It's essentially a parody of the classic Ivan Polka video, only this time, the woman's hand as she's spinning the leek gets all twisted up, and then spins back in her face, leaving her deformed and beat up. And the music then plays in slow motion as she slowly twists the leek back and forth. This video's just got a disturbing aura to it. I'm not sure exactly why it is. Of course the girl looks kind of creepy when she's beat up, but there's something that's just off about this video. Another classic creepy YouTube video is Let Me Hear Your War Cry, which is a scene from Full Metal Jacket. Only the soldiers' faces are replaced with these creepy mannequin heads, and they make this strange yelling noise. To really set the mood for this, I want you to picture that it's 2010. You're a kid around 8 or 9 years old, and it's summer. It's a nice night out, it's raining, and you're alone in your room while everyone else is asleep. You go from watching videos about Minecraft and Roblox, to then finding something strange in your recommended, then you just go down a rabbit hole of disturbing content. The amount of fear and anxiety that builds from this action is something so special, and it's something that a lot of kids actually ended up experiencing. Let's say you're a kid who's into special effects and putting on costumes. You're looking at different cool costumes that you might want to wear for Halloween or for a show or something, and then you come across this. Dolphin Muzzle. This video features a man in very strange and unnerving dolphin cosmetics, just looking at the camera and moving his mouth. It is basically the definition of uncanny valley. We know there's just a person underneath there, but they're covered by all these weirdly realistic prosthetics. And there's no sound to the video. It's completely silent. You look at the channel, which is called North Fur, and you see a bunch more of these creepy prosthetics. And now, poor kid, you are not sleeping peacefully for the next few nights. Something that I think fits really well within the moniker of digital horror is the old online curses and urban legends. One from YouTube being Moriana Mordegard Gleskor. Legend has it that there was a lost video on YouTube that was taken down by the company because those who viewed it would rip out their eyeballs and mail them to YouTube's headquarters. What we do find when we look up Moriana Mordegard Gleskor is a shortened video that YouTube released to just kind of dissuade the mystery, so it's like, okay, the video's out, we don't need to search any farther. But apparently, what we see is not the full video. It's not true. I'm not sure how anyone really ever believed that it was true, but I remember this scaring me as a kid, and talking about it with my friends, imagining what the full video was like. I remember trying to be really careful, and if I did see a video claiming to be the full version, I'd look away for parts of it so the curse wouldn't have an effect on me. Nowadays, the video is a bit funny. It's just kind of a guy in red shaking back and forth with loud noises. But back in the day, it was quite a lot more threatening. Some of these videos that we can consider digital horror were live action and, intentionally made scary. My favorite example is Polybius Found. For those who don't know, Polybius is an urban legend about an old arcade game that once existed back in the 1980s in Portland, Oregon. This arcade game had terrible effects on the people who played it and was incredibly addicting. Allegedly, men in black suits would come in and survey the game and take data from it. Then one day, a kid had a seizure after playing it, and every arcade cabinet of Polybius disappeared. People think it was basically a mind control experiment from the government to try and see how they could use video games to control the public. There's a video on YouTube by the name of Polybius Found, which basically consists of two guys claiming to have found a Polybius cabinet.
From an anonymous email that there might be a Polybius video game in the place we're at right now. We went knocking on the front door. There wasn't anybody home. However, we just realized that the fence is open. We're gonna give it a shot.
They eventually reach this said cabinet in an old storage room, which looks really good. The audio quality and the video quality really add to the aura going on here. They find the cabinet and are surprised. Then a scary monster pops out, and then the video ends.
Milk, are you seeing this? Are you seeing this? Milk?
Usually the found footage format uses VHS tapes and a more primitive form of technology for the scare, which albeit usually works better. But now with digital horror, I honestly feel like an old digital camera does the job really well. Now let's take a trip to an old format of YouTube videos that you may have forgotten about. Cartoon subliminal message videos. Back in the late 2000s and early 2010s, there was a weird subgenre of YouTube videos claiming to show subliminal messages in shows like SpongeBob. Something I should note about digital horror is its emphasis on Windows Movie Maker. Analog horror has white text on a black background for a lot of the way that it conveys its messages, and that's kind of the formula for that. Whereas with digital horror, it's actually a more realistic version, being the blue background and white text of Windows Movie Maker, alongside all the wacky transitions and everything like that. Brandon Works and Gunslinger Pro use this to their advantage. These SpongeBob subliminal message videos were usually done within Windows Movie Maker, and tried to convince the viewer that there was something else going on with these episodes. There was a secret message that was trying to be conveyed to kids. A lot of the time, said subliminal messages would just be kind of like adult jokes, or the OP mishearing a word that the character said.
Any part of this
But regardless of that, these videos had such a unique scare factor. There wasn't necessarily anything inherently scary about them, but there was this unnerving feeling of watching these videos and feeling as though you were uncovering something that you weren't supposed to know, or at least that you weren't supposed to be aware of. The videos would often present these subliminal messages as something that you should be wary of and to not let into your mind, which made watching them a really unnerving and thrilling experience back in the day. I'm sure those who have never heard of these videos find them funny now, because I'll be honest, they are pretty silly, but in my opinion, they're a very primitive form of digital horror. Let's jump to current day and look at some videos that are currently following the digital horror formula. Here's a video by the channel Thermal Laboratories by the name of img_ and then a bunch of numbers. .mov. So far, it's very obscure with only 51 views and 2 likes, but it's a great example of what we're discussing today. The description states, found on an old hard drive. The video was created in 2010. It starts off with the Windows Movie Maker style blue background with white text of the OP describing a story of them waking up the last night. They heard a thumping sound at the back of their bed and thought that they were having a nightmare, but they were awake. So they got out their phone and got the monster on camera. Here's footage of that said monster. The text then describes that it might be linked to some audio that was taken that night. It then plays some creepy sounds of thumping and some very anxiety-inducing sound effects. The blue background slowly becomes black as the audio continues to play. The text then reads, "It felt too much like a nightmare, yet I have proof that I was indeed wide awake. You can see it, right? Did you hear anything in the recordings? Everyone else did. We also found a VHS tape at the back of a closet this morning. I'll try and convert it to digital so you can see it. That's all for today. Thanks for watching." And that's all we get. The story that the video conveys is simple, yet scary, and it pulls it off pretty well. Another video that isn't quite as inherently creepy is a video called Yo, Wake Up, It's Summer 2006 by the YouTube channel Alex Farley. It's a CGI video from a point of view perspective of someone waking up in their room in 2006. They walk over to their chunky old computer next to their Green Day American Idiot poster and start using their computer, while a Nerf Maverick sits on their desk. We see this person's Halo 2 screensaver, and he turns on an AMV video of a Weird Al song over an anime intro. The person then happily dances along to the video and ends up getting pretty hyped, and then the video ends. However, I've heard that this isn't it. There's a hidden level to this video, and it's part of an upcoming ARG series, which is why I wanted to feature it here. I hope that these examples here have really shown how awesome of a subgenre digital horror is and will become. It's not that popular just yet, but I have a feeling that it will be, and I want to be one of the first people who talk about it. If you aren't Gen Z and you didn't grow up on the internet, basically, this might not make any sense to you at all. But for those who are, and for those who did grow up on the internet, I hope that this video helps bring back all those feelings of being freaked out. It really is just a mix of nostalgia and fear. I'm gonna try my hand at a little digital horror short film, which you guys will be seeing right about now.
Here, get this for a second. This is pre-zombie movie time. Going in for just a little, I don't know, for a hike. No zombies here, not at all. But there are bears, so I've got my zombie killer pistol, just because it's also good against bears. And alongside that, hold on, my zombie killer knife, also good against bears. So, yeah. What was that?
You dropped an egg, right?
Oh. This would be where they perform a ritual.
It's getting dark.
Shimmy drop.
There's a zombie in there.
See, that was pretty creepy, and that was footage that was completely innocent. I just made it scary by messing with it. Ooh. I hope you guys enjoyed this video here, because I enjoyed making it, and I really like this topic. Before you go, I want to display some incredible fan art that you guys have been making recently. Look at this. It's so great, and we've got, look, okay. I think probably the #1 piece of art that I've ever seen is this right here. It's the ultimate tribute to this channel. That's me right there, right in the middle. It's so good. This art was made by Lily, who's one of the main moderators on the Raymundo 2112 Discord server. There are her socials, like, look at this thing. It really is amazing. And I feel like it sums up this channel perfectly. So, that's it from me, and I'll see you all in the next one. Oh yeah, and don't forget to come to my Halloween live show on October 28th, 2022. It's gonna be the greatest live show ever. It's gonna be the coolest thing. Look at this poster already. It's already the coolest thing. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be hosting it. I'm gonna be playing music. You don't want to miss it. You're gonna get free candy if you go. There's nothing to lose, really. You'll be able to meet me. We'll be able to hang out. We'll be able to just have like a jolly old time, a spooky old time, because it's Halloween. It's gonna be amazing. You won't regret it. Come to the show. I'll see you there.